Good day, readers and viewers of Embassy Direct, celebrating this month of women in South Africa. Today, with the pleasant and honorable company of our friend from Turkey, Ambassador Ayşegül Kandaş. How are you today, Ambassador?
Thank you very much. How are you?
We're fine. Thank you for joining us in this celebration of Women's Month. Ambassador, as our first question, could you kindly share about your professional and personal experience so far during your stay in South Africa? What are your immediate plans going forward, and how are these bilateral relations developing?
First of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Just like yourself, I have had the privilege of being a diplomat, an ambassador in this beautiful country. I'm nearing the completion of my term. It's been more than 3 years now in Pretoria. And I just loved Africa. This was my first time in the African continent. And I just love learning about the culture and the country. And bilateral relations have been improving in the past few years, especially after the pandemic. I have to say, being a woman ambassador in a country like South Africa is both a privilege and an advantage. Why? Because South Africa, in the former cabinet, for instance, half of the ministers were women. And a big percentage, I think close to probably 40% of the National Assembly, the parliament, was made up of female MPs. That is very important. I see lots of women CEOs in the business sector, lots of women in South Africa in the decision-making parts of the government. It's very important, I think, to have this, because this is different from my country, I have to say. The percentage of women in the Turkish parliament is less than 20. So what I have seen here is the dominance of very powerful women in governing structures in the country and the private sector. So I've had it quite, I feel quite comfortable in this country when it comes to doing my work. And I also think in a time when it's like Women's Month, there's a whole month dedicated to women in South Africa. We don't have that in Turkey. I don't know how many countries have that. A whole month dedicated to women, to activities on women. There are so many panels, conferences, everything. We are organizing some. I am going tomorrow to Durban to speak at a women's conference organized by Progressive Business Forum, for instance. So there's so much going on. In Turkey, on the other hand, we only celebrate Women's Day on March 8th. That's the International Women's Day. But South Africa celebrates it twice, on March 8th and also August 9th and the whole month of August. That's very important. When it comes to my relations in the first 3 years here, and Turkey-South Africa relations, I have to say there has been progress, especially in trade relations, investment relations. The trade figures jumped up to $3 billion right after the pandemic in 2022, for instance. We are still trying to bring in more investment from Turkey. There are around 70 companies, in different fields. There's DeFi, which is a Turkish company in the white goods sector, occupying 41% of the market. There is a defense industry company, a prominent Turkish defense industry company, Aselsan, that has offices in Pretoria. So there are, those prominent Turkish investments here in South Africa, and there is some South African investment in Turkey, like Metair, the company Metair in Istanbul. Then, when it comes to political relations, we have seen bilateral visits of the foreign ministers, meaning last year, January 2023, our foreign minister came to South Africa upon the invitation of the former foreign minister, Honorable Naledi Pandor. And Minister Pandor went twice herself to Turkey to attend Antalya Diplomacy Forum, 2 years in a row. We are hoping to convene the first binational commission in Turkey, hopefully, with the participation of either President Ramaphosa or Deputy President Mashetile this year or next year. So politically also, there are relations are on a good track, and there have been some agreements signed. Certain agreements I value. For instance, the unscientific cooperation that was important, and we are about to sign the one on higher education, since we give lots of scholarships to South African students. So let me stop here.
Thank you. Okay, you mentioned about the celebration, commemoration of Women's Month in South Africa as compared to other countries of the world, including yours, that only celebrates a day. In your 3 years being in South Africa, how could you compare those 3 years on this month? What has been your engagement with the female sector of South Africa?
It's very important. Sometimes it's paradoxical also, I have to say. This is a country where women are in powerful positions. At the same time, this is a country where GBV has big numbers, gender-based violence. Can you imagine? So there are paradoxes as well. I have to say, I need to give you information about TICA, Turkish Development Cooperation Agency, through which we have funds, the TICA offices in Pretoria. We have funds to bring in development cooperation and humanitarian aid to communities, rural sites, and townships especially. My priority has been with these projects, women and youth. I do not like the word empowerment. I'd rather say empowerment of the boy child. So we do not encounter sociological problems in the future like domestic violence. We need to empower the boy child. Women are intrinsically powerful. They just need to be aware of it, and we need to work on the values and cultures in society. That's a different subject. But through TICA, that agency, what we have been doing is finishing around 20 projects a year in various provinces of South Africa. We try to cover all 9 provinces. We focus on women and youth, and projects like entrepreneurship training, which is entrepreneurship training given to women SMEs, because they need that push, especially in the rural side and in townships. We have so far trained around 150 women from different provinces of South Africa, women SMEs. Then we give skills training to youth and women. For instance, we've done jewelry training workshops, which include, of course, the donation of the equipment. We have just opened a TVET college in East London, almost like a TVET college. It is jewelry training courses. So I give a lot of importance to really focusing on women and to bringing out their potential, you know, the power in the women, and focusing on the youth. So there are projects, especially in skills training, and also sustainable projects like in Mpumalanga. What we did was give a water treatment project to a school. The water bottles, clean water bottles, are being sold in the community, in a small community, in the game lodges. The game lodges owned by women, under the market price. So that's a sustainable project because they sell the water, they earn money and use it in the community. In the meantime, we also support women in the tourism sector. You know, I could go on and on about these projects, but what I mean is Women's Month is full of conferences and panels, and I keep going, of course, like everybody else, like other ambassadors, as speakers at these panels. But I don't really believe in that, because we talk about the same things among women to other women. You know, we need to include more men in the dialogue. We need to engage more with the men around us, and we need to talk less and do more, which is tangible projects. We need to touch the lives of the women and support them with sustainable projects, instead of talking and saying women need this and that. In this country, everybody knows what the problems are and what we need. But we need to just somehow give that push to deserving women and boys and the young girls.
It's very true what you have just shared with us, Ambassador. I have to congratulate you for the excellent work that you have been done on during these 3 years. I understand that you have really integrated and contributed with the South African society, especially to vulnerable sectors like women, the youth, and the elderly. So for that, Embassy Direct really applauds your journey in South Africa. And last but not least, Ambassador, as a diplomat yourself, please share your take on the role of women in this day in diplomacy, as well as in leadership in Africa and in your country.
Yes, let me tell you about my belief in international relations in the whole world today. I believe if we had more women diplomats and more women leaders governing countries, we wouldn't have so many wars. Why? Women are peacemakers. They have to be peacemakers because they think of their children. Women need to prepare the future for their children. Women need peace more than men, you see, because we are life givers. We are not really life takers. So we need more diplomats in every country, I think, including my own women diplomats. We need more women ambassadors. The number of women ambassadors keeps increasing in Turkey. Like around me, around South Africa, the ambassador in Nairobi, the Turkish ambassador, is a woman. The one in Zimbabwe is a woman. The one in, I don't know, in Rwanda was a woman, for instance, you know. So what we need is really to have work environments where the two sexes work together, not in competition, not with intimidation, but through collaboration, because this world is, you know, meant for the two sexes. If they could collaborate more, and if we as women did not face more challenges than men going up the ladder in our professions, this world would be a better place. What I'm saying is sometimes women had to fight harder than men to climb the ladder. And one more thing I need to say frankly is this: we need women, more women, supporting each other. We need more solidarity, less competition among women as well. And we do not need men who are intimidated by strong women in this world, because we need strong men and strong women to deal with all the challenges and problems of the world. Otherwise, this world is not going anywhere at a nice place. Look at the conflicts now around the world. Look at negotiation, diplomacy. You know, I know the power, the importance of diplomacy in preventing wars or stopping wars, okay? So diplomacy has a big function, especially in today's world. But look at the people around the tables discussing peace. They're all men. Majority is men, unfortunately. What would happen if we had more women among at the tables, negotiation tables now? Women would be calling everyone to more wisdom and to the dangers of an unpeaceful world. That's all I have to say. So in my experience, when it comes to my personal experience, I have had 31 years in the diplomatic career. I have been appointed to, I think, 5 countries. This is the 5th country that I'm in. And I have been, of course, surrounded with women colleagues as well. But I have a feeling, I have the perception that we somehow have a harder job, you know, when we are trying to kind of like prove ourselves, you know, like we need to prove ourselves more. We need to work harder than men. Somehow that perception might be wrong, but it is a perception that has to change in all of us.
I
Thank
totally
you.
agree, Ambassador. I know, thanks to you. I totally agree in this last phrase that you said about women. I think that it's time that the world starts treating the participation of women or people from different colors or religion or preferences or anything as an exception. Now we are surprised that there might be a chance that the first American president woman in the next elections, and it shouldn't be something surprising. It should be something of the common day. I think we need to start treating each other as human beings more than as a branded individuals. We want at Embassy Direct to thank you so much for this opportunity you gave us today to access your office, your beautiful office, a nice background, by the way, that you have right now. We are sad to hear that you will probably be leaving the country sometime soon, but wherever your next duty takes you, the best of the lucks, and please continue this fantastic job that you have been doing in the months remaining while you are in South Africa.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity, and we loved working with your Embassy Direct all the time. We try to follow your functions, and I'm sure my successor, who is also a woman, will continue to do that. Thank you.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
day.